Given the fragilities in the Indian economic system, given also the fragilities in the Indian political system, none of which are beyond the pale of imagination. If somebody may or may not want to admit they exist, they are proximate enough in my imagination that they may exist, right? Do you think it's still possible for India to be a glorious in the short term?
Yeah, absolutely.
In the long term, everything is possible.
I'm not talking about long term. I'm saying within 2 years, you can grow it 10% per year.
And what's the blocker?
The blockage is where are you investing? Where are you getting the returns? These are all things see, there are two aspects. There's a demand aspect, there's a supply aspect. Where there is a demand, you must provide the supply. And where there's a supply, you must create a demand. One of the ways to create demand is abolish income tax. I will say that one action which will immediately fire the whole country is abolish income tax. And you will find that the whole country, there will be a relief, and that means the middle class and the upper classes. Now, the lower classes, when they start seeing things are happening, new factories are coming and employment is increasing as a consequence of this, they will also support it. So I think it's just because they clueless. Modi is clueless about economics. The present finance ministry is headed by someone who knows nothing about anything. So the bureaucrats run the show. Bureaucrats are only interested in continuing the files. That's about all. You can't run a country by bureaucrats.
My guess would also be that the administrative cost of operating income tax is probably humongous as well.
Yes.
Because the number of litigations, the pendencies, the slow decay of the Indian spirit when it comes to entrepreneurship because of it. And it's an overly complicated tax code.
Yes.
I think my general impression from having studied from having some days in chartered accountancy as a profession, it almost felt like every financial budget we were trying to repeal some of the mistakes we'd made in the last one. And so like 25% of this year is spent on just fixing what was happening last year, what went wrong last year.
Yeah. Supposing I abolish income tax, you will find that the honesty will boom up by itself.
Right.
If you tomorrow raise the rate of interest for deposits in banks to 9%, for example, you will find a boom of people giving money to the government through the banks. And if you lower the rate of the interest for loans to be taken for investment work to 2%, 3%, 2% is America, I'll say 3% or 4%, you will find Indian investments going up, booming up.
But is it simply just an incompetence issue?
It is a issue where when your mind is, how can I make money out of this? In that, everything goes negative.
So you were saying that the politicians of India are still interested in taking the cream off the top. That's just a money-making enterprise.
Correct.
It's still not... Because the impression for the common man is that has changed.
Because who's going to politics in India? When I came to politics, everybody said, you're mad. You gave up Harvard to come to India. That was mad. And now you've given up IIT to go to... You're mad. Most people think going to politics is something only, you get dirty your hands, you dirty your clothes.
You dirty your spirit.
And spirit that nobody has mentioned because you make a lot of money.
Right. Yeah, but I feel like the range of compromises, because I've thought about it myself as a younger fellow, like maybe more 10 years ago. Do I want that? I am inclined towards leadership. And you have these naive thoughts when you're 18.
Yeah.
And I found myself like, I don't know if I want to wake up with the things I will see as a politician or the things I'll be part of as a politician. It's a very scary thought. We are not incentivized to be part of politics.
See, in my case, I have sent people to jail for corruption.
Right.
Whether it's Chidambaram, whether it's now Rahul Gandhi to be, whether there's so many...
To be? Like in the near future?
Yeah, of course. Okay. He has to go. National Herald case he's already on bail.
Right, okay. Fair.
He would have gone to jail if I had said, no, send him to jail, you can't give him bail. But Mr. Modi made a personal request to me not to send them to jail. So I said, okay, I'll do it, but please tell them to behave. So I would say that there are various aspects where you can, even in this present system, you can have, you can feel happy that you're doing something for the country.
Begs the question, for somebody so charged with criticism, how would you do it differently? How would you run the country?
Me?
Yes.
I would abolish income tax to begin
That's
with.
one. Right. Sure.
I'll lower the interest rate for loans down to 4%.
Right.
I'll raise the interest on fixed deposits for 5 years to 9%.
Sure.
That's all I need to do. Then I'll go to sleep.
And how's about like foreign policy issues? How's
Foreign
about
policy, see, the issue of foreign policy, I have been a great friend of China. I speak their language. I've written books on their economy. I had students from China at Harvard whom I taught. I know all about China. What is China? China, if it sees that you are an equally determined country, they will be very nice with you. But when they find that you have an nincompoop who says that koi aaya nahi, koi gaya nahi, have you heard that phrase of Mr. Modi? I had raised this question in Parliament that the Chinese have entered into Indian territory, which was not previously disputed, the undisputed Indian territory. So Modi's reply was, कोई आया ही नहीं, कोई गया नहीं, ऐसे लोगों को डराने के लिए लोग बोलते हैं. But the fact is they have come and we have redefined the borders to include the Chinese claims, which is being kept secret.
we have no pictures?
No pictures are allowed. The agreement that we reached in the new border is not made public. You don't get a copy.
And if I had to verify that, how would I go about that?
There is no way.
So I just have to take your word or his word?
No, you don't have to take my word. I'm saying you try and get it, whether tell them that Swamy says this, or tell us how to disprove it. Not just say, oh, he's nobody, that's not enough. Just tell us what is there. I have filed questions in Parliament and they have not answered. They say it's national security. If the Chinese have occupied your territory, how is it national security? If I occupy Chinese territory, yes, it's a national security thing. You don't want to flare it up.
Sure.
So there are enough indications to show that these people, they don't even have minimal patriotism.
And there is no constitutional remedy to that effect for like...
Yeah, but where do I go? Do I go to court?
Yes.
It's a long-term process. I have matters pending in court.
Right.
There's no question.
No shortage of that.
I'm not doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in Parliament, we don't have the majority. I mean, those who want this matter to be brought in Parliament to be discussed, Modi has the majority, and he says no, nothing doing. House adjourned.
And so there is no civilian way or no journalistic way, no media way to verify the fact that this is because this is groundbreaking stuff.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if today a journalist put out the real facts, that newspaper will go out of business because they have reached a stage where they are dependent on advertisements for survival. And all you do is stop any company from giving advertisements.
Guys, if you're interested in more content like this where it actually makes you think and explore how you think inside your head, dude, subscribe, man.